when that ferryman comes for to tally up my worth, I won't leave much to find that can be found.
Welcome back, everybody. Sorry, we were just a tad late. 30 minutes late. I had to cook dinner, so I pushed back the live to be distraught after I cooked dinner. So, real quick, let me just type up the thing. Hopefully, someone in Discord will join me. But aside from that, I think we're all set to go real quick. There we go. So, last time we were playing, we were trying to find. We found, one right here. We found her. So we need to go back to her. I didn't save when we found her, so we need to go back to her. And so we need to head over there. Princess! Hey, how you doing, Princess? Welcome back. Wait, hold on real quick. Thought that was an option or something, and I can't remember if it was this game or a different game. Right, let's go talk to the blues player, Althea. There's a song called Good Rockin' Tonight, written by Roy Brown. When I heard it, I thought that ain't nothing special. Sound like gospel, but it ain't. It's about making love. Ain't that the sort of thing they play on the radio? Then I heard it again. Iona Harris singing it. Then it was something else. I knew exactly the deal Iona had made. I'm in the mood for a story with a bit of that tragedy. Princess says, playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games to infinity at the moment. It has co-op. Nice! That's great. We were actually, there's a huge conversation currently going on in the Discord, the friend Discord about Pokemon Go Dungeon, because people love it, and we've actually played a couple of roleplay games with it. He's a devil. Yes, he is. He's the devil she made a deal with, so she can play the blues. And Evelyn Dolan says, hi, Evelyn Dolan. Welcome back. Is your... Hold on. I have to see now. Hold on. Oh, I can't see it. Hold on, wait. I need to see something. Because I think... No, never mind. I was wrong. My mistake. I thought I recognized something, and it turns out I didn't. Right, so, we need to convince, we need to get her to trust us, and we need to tell her a story of tragedy. Right, so... Jesus. We have Cassidy. So, you know, that's not too bad. Hold on. Yeah, so we have Cassidy, so we can just tell Cassidy's story. And she'd find that great. We also have Franklin's Travels. We also have Quinn's. Little Ben's. I think we might... Oh, and Jimmy's Parable. I think we... And Dupree's. And Mason's. The issue is... Do we have enough guarantee her trusting us by the end of this? I don't know. Tragedy, tragedy, tragedy. Tell the story of the boy and his dog somewhere in Alabama. That might be tragic. Springshot Gaming! Welcome back, Springshot Gaming. So that was a good story, but it didn't actually open the eye any. Alright. She says she'll drink to that. What's freedom to me? Some say that when we end, that's freedom. I wish I could find comfort in the notion of death, but I know what's waiting for me beyond the veil. Those sunken eyes like a deep, dark pit. How about a story about the dark and scary things in the world? I got a shit ton of those. And Springshot says, sorry I'm late. So, Springshot, you're not actually all that late. We started at 4:30, so literally 6 minutes ago. And my computer chair is wrapped up on a cord. Hold on. There we go. Fixed it. But yes, so you're not actually late. I started the stream late because I had to cook dinner. And so I decided to, I decided to start the stream 30 minutes late. I did update the schedule though. So it did say it started at 4:30 instead of 4. So that should have been good. Anyway, so we need to tell them a scary story that does not have any of the... You know what? No, fuck it. I'm just gonna tell them Quinn's adventures. That should at least open the eye a little bit. I've seen all this country and now I'm done. My bones, my skin, it's done. Feel heavy in my body now, I just want to rest. How about a story about the dark and scary things in the world? Right, so let's tell her Dupree's tale. And hopefully we'll get forward. And now that sends shivers up my spine. Fortune, mine's all bad. Think I was born cussed. Was never had a happy ending for me. I die alone no matter what path I take at the crossroads. I'm in the mood for a story with a bit of that tragedy to it. Right, more tragedy. Char's Life and Times. We might be able to get her to trust us here. Nope, I think one more good one. Authority? Well, when the world don't want you, you can't tell people to fuck off no more. Back to yes sir, no sir. I don't play like that. Here I am. I'm in the mood for a story with a bit of that tragedy to it. Jesus, she's a sad fucking woman. I get it though, I get it. Right, so we need to find... If I remember correctly, Franklin's not that far along. Little Ben's isn't either. Mason's loss. Mason should be able to push us over that line. There it is, we got it. Woo! Like a song, pretty and sad. Death, I'm dead. It's true, I'm dead, stranger. It's like the world spins and I don't move. I can rock and roll, but no one cares. Don't get shows no more. I sing for dimes again. Or lay me here, guitar in one hand, bottle in the other. I want to do the best blues singer in the world. The world left me. The devil don't give even deals. He knows you better than you know yourself. The devil gave me everything. Took everything, too. No running left in me. Don't weep. I'll die here. Those young bucks, they don't know why they strum like that, man. Listen here, it was me. It was me who made this world. It's all I have now. I need you to know this. I made the world that ruined me. So are we done here? I done laid myself bare for you. It's all there is to me now. I drink, I smoke, the guitar, my gutted body. Got something to say to me, or I'm gonna have to play it out for. Oh, there it is. Springshot says she sounds depressed. She is. She is the story of, I don't remember. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't remember his name. There's actually a blues player who was so good at what he did, people swore that he sold his soul to the devil to be that good. And she's like the game's version of that. But he's like considered so good that he made blues what it is today. And so the idea that he was so good he sold the soul to the devil to be that good kind of permeates the idea of blues. So I don't know, man. It's that thing, and she represents it really well. But yeah, no, she's super depressed. She sold her soul. God, am I saying that fucking 5 times fast? Right. So, where are we going now? Well, there doesn't seem to be anything in the middle of Mississippi. That's that way. I don't see anything in particular. And there doesn't appear to be anything in Alabama. Right, so we need to head Oh Jesus, where do we need to head to? I've just crossing the fucking map like a madman. Wait, I could have sworn we made it to Louisiana because we were in oh fuck, what's the name of the city? Louisiana's like fucking biggest city. Springshot says I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. Yep, hold on. Yep. There we go. We actually just passed my hometown too last time we were playing up here in Wisconsin. Yeah, up here in Wisconsin. Alright, so New Orleans. We were in New Orleans, but the map doesn't say we actually made it there. This is weird. Alright, so let's head to... Well, hold on, wait. Quinn's up there. We already finished Quinn. Right? Hold on, Johnny Log? Stories. Oh, progress. There we go. Complete. Did complete. Oh no, we didn't complete Quinn. Right, we didn't complete Quinn. Alright, so where the fuck's Quinn? Is Quinn up there? I think he might be. Quinn might be. I don't see him anywhere else on the map. Oh no, over here. Fuck, where's Quinn? Hold on. Boy. Character. So Quinn, there and there. Don't Quinn anywhere beyond. We're gonna have to backtrack to find Quinn. Wrap up his story. Oh, hold on. Oh, he's new. I don't know him. Alright. Alright. Yeah, I don't think Quinn is anywhere over here. here. So we are going to have to go back towards Ohio and then New York to try and find him. Probably in Ohio, but I don't know. Right, let's head northeast and try to make it from there. Right. Good thing is, this game actually has an auto walk feature, so I can just you know, right, straight on till morning. Kidding. But oh, nope. He's on. And then I can speed up. They're whistling. Uh-oh. Pretty sure the lag is from the game, not the street folks. So. Chattanooga. Did I walk into Chattanooga? I'm pretty sure I at least walked by here. I don't know if I can actually enter Chattanooga. I cannot enter Chattanooga. Alright then. Guess Chattanooga didn't become that important until later. Alright, so... Oh, there we go. I am heading in the right direction, right? Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Oh no, I went way too far. I head way more north now. I name bare bones of the... Yeah. Oh no, there's a river my way. Damn it. Alright. I guess... Actually, hold on. Yeah, I guess we have to cross to Cincinnati to fucking get there. Hey, so... how is my lovely chat while we figure this all out? While we go talk to Quinn again. Oh, hello. We found a story that's changed. Over here. This story. The bar is crowded with people from every walk of life. Businessmen, young men in muddy overalls, and a crowd of girls in slinky dresses, carrying their blood alcohol content for a night on the town. It's the squat, sharp-eyed man in the fedora who catches your attention. He launches into a wild story about the man who swam into the ocean to escape his troubles. Halfway through, he stops, recognizing the look on your face. You know this one. You tell him about the story about the man on the beach. Story about the man on the beach in Miami, despairing by the future, +2. Is that it? I think I like mine more. Alright, so I think a game glitched and told us, like, at what stage the story was. Yep, and he tells the rest of the bar, and there's a game going on, and finds out that, yeah, the new version is better. Ah, and there's Zero. Hi, Zero.
Howdy, I was muted, I didn't know, but thankfully. Hi!
Hi. I saw your comment, and I was like, how long should I be fucking silent about this? I need someone else to talk to.
I just got here, it was not that long ago.
No, I saw your comment in chat.
Yeah, I sent that, like, the moment that I got into chat. I have not been here that long. I just happened to be muted, so you didn't hear me join.
Before the chat, you know. Zero Enderborn says, hi, folks, I'm here too, but he doesn't know yet. I imagine immediately followed is, shh.
It's implied.
It's implied. Right. The waitress at the diner is sharing an outlandish tale with
Am
one
I
of...
-6? When did I become -6? God damn
No, no, you have not become -6. Princess is fucking with you. You're
Okay.
still at -5. We have not played Darkest Dungeon yet. However, Friday, you might hit -6. Who knows?
I'll probably hit.
But you might
-6.
want to join us to see, because every time you're not here, shit happens to your character.
I mean, that's more interesting from a story standpoint, though.
Right? Anyway.
Also, your streamer lists you as playing Risk of Rain, by the way.
Wait, does it really? Hold on.
That's what I'm seeing.
No, all the gaming is where the water tastes like wine. Oh, that's weird. To the rest of the stream, is it doing that too? Because my live thing says where the water tastes like wine.
Yeah, I mean, it just says, like, it has your Instagram, your Twitter, the redacted Discord, then below that is Risk of Rain 2 and gaming.
Right, yeah, so in mine, it's where the water tastes like wine. Let me reload the page, maybe that'll change it.
Maybe. Yeah, Princess says it says Risk of Rain.
What the fuck, YouTube?
Yeah, I mean, I know Twitch has this problem too. I've seen many people have problems with this.
Right, so let's just immediately
Just re-update it.
Yeah, I reloaded it and still on my end says what the water tastes like wine. Does it
Well,
reload
just
your
make
page
sure.
and see if it's changed?
Do that, yeah. You did, so I'm not going to hear myself, hopefully. Now it says Minecraft.
What the fuck? Hold up! YouTube! What the fuck, man?
Oh my god.
What?
Let me change it to the water tastes like wine. I'll reload again to see if it's just what the fuck.
YouTube, why the fuck do you do this to me?
Doesn't like you. I see Minecraft and rain, says Springshot.
Oh my god. Why? Alright.
Much like Minecraft B, it's always raining.
Alright, so fix it. Mine is whether the water tastes like wine. I reloaded like half a dozen different ways. Reload and tell me if it is still fucking up.
Now it says where the water tastes like wine.
Oh, thank Christ. Alright.
That took too long. Thankfully, we fixed it. Hi, folks. I'm here early, and I've already caused troubles.
At least thank you for pointing it out to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know.
the waitress at the diner is sharing an outlandish tale with one of her regulars. I heard it from my sister-in-law. She says it happened to her daughter's friend. It's true. Have you heard this one before? She regales you a story about the blue hole of New Jersey. Halfway through, you realize the story of a bottomless lake of clean water, but highly embellished. Ah, alright. Alright. Zero, I don't think you've met Quinn before, so I'm gonna show you Quinn.
It would be interesting. Who is the friend of Mr. Skeleton Man?
He was the first person I ever met.
Unless you started a new game, I was here for one of these streams.
So you'll see Quinn's form, and then it'll fade into his new form, his true form. Yeah. You know what the worst part is? He has way too many hands.
He does, and he has very angry puppos.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, is everybody a monster, or...?
So, like, they all represent some, like, underlying thing about America. That they have a person, like, their person form. And then when you trust them enough, they'll fade into what they, like, truly are. And so, like, Dupree was this woman who was this, like, flapper from the 1920s, but she played men like a fiddle and used her sexuality as a weapon to, to skirt the man's game and steal from people and be a con artist. And then her true form was this fox whose tail was covered in playing cards and money and jewels and all this other stuff. And
Kitsune.
except there's one tail.
Yeah.
I originally called it a kitsune as well, but like it's this representation of like this part of American history, right? And then so when we came across Altera, the blues player who sold her soul to the devil, her true form was this statue of her, this cracked and weathered statue of her holding a guitar with the devil she made a deal with, like behind her in her shadows, almost like beckoning to you. And she, like, blues is a big part of American history, and there is a story, I can't remember his name, but he was considered the best blues player of all time, so good that people thought he sold his soul to the devil. And I believe, historically, he was playing at a bar one night, and in the middle of his set, got up, walked out, and was never seen again. And so it kind of adds to this fantasy, but blues was such a big thing, and it could be argued that he was the cornerstone of blues. So it's a big part of American history. And then unions were a big part of American history, and we have Little Benny, which represents that kind of history as well. We haven't seen his true form yet, though. Mason, who was a World War vet. World War was a big World War and its veterans, how they're treated is a big deal in American history. And his true form was him and his soldier half, like tearing themselves in half as he split between worlds. So it's very much of like what made American history. I don't know what Quinn represents, but I want to say it's like something to do with the Depression. I'm not that super familiar with that era of American history.
Isn't this the guy that's Mr. Appleseed?
No. We actually met that's the guy whose story turns into Johnny Appleseed. But Quinn was like this little boy, like almost Tom Sawyer kind of boy with these two dogs on either side of him. And I think that's what he represents, is like the Tom Sawyer kind of era of American history. But I don't. Maybe that's what his true form represents, is this like dark history kind of wrapped up and hidden away, but you can still kind of make it out. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of it's up for interpretation, and this is how I interpret these things, and I don't know how to interpret Quinn's appearance plus. In fact, there was one who was a gentleman who was a jailbird. He spent most of his time in jail, and he got out, and we talked to him, and his final form was a giant crane, and within the feathers of his wings were tarot cards, and I'm like, I don't know how to read that. Maybe someone that knows more would be able to do so, but I have no idea.
Damn, I am not a history nut. I really wish we had a history nut with us.
I know enough to not get lost in conversation, but like really minutia I get lost in. So some of these things I can read into, but some of these things I can't. Right. So yeah. So Quinn is like, been thinking about how my family Judicized me, and how they did wrong by me and my little brother, one that maybe someone else I could have done. Here, sit with me. I want someone to talk with about all this. Oh, I love them dearly. My dogs ain't no such good talkers. I want to hear one of them vengeful tales. Got any? What's a thrilling story? I'm just gonna keep telling them. I'm gonna tell him a bunch of other people's stories and unlock his final thing. But yeah, no. So it's a very beautiful autistic game. Where the water tastes like wine. It's very. Oh, he immediately loves that story. Right. Yeah. No. You talk about fate. I wonder sometimes if what in them is in me too. That thing, whatever it was that made my parents no good for people. Hey, do you really want to thrill? You got any thrilling stories to tell? I'm hankering for one of those. So at this point, he completely trusts us, and we've completed his story. Now we can just tell stories that we want evolved.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, that the story of the bull terrorizing travelers is thrilling. Good to know. Authority. Go ahead.
Have you told Paul Bunyan yet?
I haven't come across anything that I would consider Paul Bunyan yet. But I feel like Paul Bunyan's are more of a northern, midwest, western, northwest, and northern midwest story than eastern of the United States. So we'll probably come across that later on.
Yeah.
Ooh, isn't that just what authority means? You don't suffer for the decisions you make, someone else does. Hey, tell me one of those exciting stories.
I feel like he's almost the representation of someone twisted by other people's actions.
That's
and
probably
has to
true,
hide
but
it.
the way I've read them before is that they represent some historic part of what makes America, the United States, even if they are dark and unpleasant to view. So, actually, you know what? You could probably look it up. I'm sure that someone's posted it somewhere, or even on a wiki.
Yeah, but that seems not as fun as trying to
That's
think of it
true.
yourself.
Yeah. I mean, but like that's
I'm
the thing
not
though.
one
Is
to
like
do
Quinn.
that.
I don't know how to read Quinn. I want to say he represents like the dark history of the time after, like the Tom Sawyer age, where black folk are freed, but or they're freed, but they're still not treated. They're basically treated the same. So, I don't know.
Hey, Ellen.
Hey, Ellen. I'm gonna turn up Ellen just a little bit.
No, you don't have to. My microphone was just away from my mouth.
Yeah. Alright. There you go. So I'm just trying to tell them stories that I want to evolve so that they'll become more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Dude and his spooky dogs.
Right? Look, you have to understand, I didn't realize that when you fully evolve the thing, they transform into, you know, what they represent. So I walked into Quinn, and I was like, hi, Quinn, and then he faded, and I was like, what's going on? And then this faded, and I was like, Jesus!
Hey, did I buy a creepypasta? Dog's barking. I'm muting for a second.
Freedom? Will I ever be free, stranger? Ain't there nothing such thing anymore? That train whistle means venture, new sights and more life, but prison comes in different shapes, don't it? I think I finally understand that now. Oh my, stranger, listen to me blubber on about my wells. I reckon it's something about you that brings it out in front. You search for something great, something holy, ain't you? You don't figure out what you're gonna find it. And you wonder if it can't be found at all, or it's just that you can't. It eats at you, don't it? See it in you. Anyway, I best be getting on. I think I'll see what happens on the road. Take care of yourself, stranger. And we get Quinn.
Nice.
Yeah. Right, the issue is I don't know. So, I think I actually need to backtrack and just head east, and pick up these three people, which I think is where they're. Yeah, I can see one from here. Yeah.
This game strikes me as something where, like, the end of the game is like you're at the campfire scene, but there's nobody in front of you. You're just sitting at the campfire. And the
Oh,
camera spins.
that'd be fucking great.
And, like, you just see the skeleton. He's like, so I've been telling you stories. Would you like to hear mine? You get to hear the story of your character.
Oh, that'd be great.
It kind of feels like that's the kind of game this would be. But I
Yeah, it
don't
really
know.
does, doesn't it? Right, so this is
I mean,
Franklin.
it feels cinematic as hell in my head.
Yeah, right? So Franklin is this bellhop. And I want to say he See, I'm not fully sure what he represents. I want to say he represents, like, middle-class workers in big cities, I want to say. Or lower middle-class workers. But I honestly don't know.
I mean, have you seen his true form yet?
No, not yet. We have to get him to level chapter 3, and so we have to. Each time we open the eye, it moves to the next chapter, and at the end of chapter 3, the next time we meet them, it shows the true form. And then when we open the eye fully one more time, we complete this. We have to complete all 16.
All characters?
Yeah, all 16 to get it. I think it's either 12 or 16.
Well, it's probably tarot cards. So...
Yeah, it is, but we have a total of 16 tarot cards. So either we get one per tarot card, but I could have sworn he said there was 12 people. So I'm not sure.
Well, there might be 12 people, but you're definitely a tarot card. You're probably the Fool.
Ooh.
If you haven't already met the Fool.
Ooh, that's a good one. I have to check to see if we met that one yet.
Yeah, because like the skeleton with the handy sack feels really reminiscent of the art for the Fool.
Yeah, hold on.
And
Yeah,
the Fool, the Fool is both the ending card and the beginning card.
I can't look at my inventory while we're talking with this guy, so let me go through this. But remind me to look at my inventory because I want to take a look at that. That's a really good read, though.
Yeah.
He says
the Fool is the beginning.
It says, it's a funny thing, someone looking right through you. Don't lie to me, friend. I know you want to know the truth. What it really means to be a porter. Well, I can tell you it's more than making white folks happy. That's just how it's supposed to look. You go on so long being how you're supposed to, not quite sure how to go back to what you were. But I suppose I can give it a try. Anyway, I'm in the mood for a good happy story. You got any? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got some happy stories.
Wasn't Happy Stories the one that you had trouble with last time I sat around?
Yeah, we still don't have many happy stories, but I'm pretty sure we have a couple of them now. Oh, right, hold on.
Oh, I see the sugarcane story evolved. Jeez.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
No, you're obviously the Fool. Just look at the Fool
Yeah,
card.
yeah, I was looking at the Fool card. Yeah, we really are the Fool, and I'm pretty sure you're right. I'm pretty sure we don't have a person for the Fool card. That's great.
The Fool is the beginning and the end of the tarot deck. It is 2 cards. That's why you're the Fool. 0, no tarot cards, because I spent a long time looking at tarot cards. I apologize for Puppy. I will mute if she gets too loud.
That's fine. The fallout's fine. Aha! The ducks in the hotel fountain was happy. I was looking for that one specifically, and I was like, I know it's here somewhere. Positive attitude, that's what I like to hear. Wow, he liked it, but the eye didn't open at all. When you want to... When they want to liven spirits up, to bring each other joy, all railroad folk tell the story of steel-driven man John Henry. But only us porters talk about big old Daddy Joe. The best porter who ever lived. I've always been more partial to that tale. Got any stories with a bit of excitement to them? I got more excitement to them. Tell the story of Casey Jones, the fastest railroader in America. He'll probably love that, considering he's a railroading person.
Isn't the guy he just mentioned the one that raced the train or whatever?
Yeah. So he's saying people who work on the railroad tell his story as like a big he's the best one of us, and and this guy, he's a porter. He transports luggage back and forth. And so I think he represents the railroad, not the big cities, but because the railroad basically made the U.S. He was like, porters have this other guy, big old Daddy Joe, who we talked about, and we didn't learn what old Daddy Joe's story is, but I have a sneaking suspicion old Daddy Joe's a real fucking thing, and I want to know it now.
So from chat, hiya Shy Girl. Princess says, isn't the second fool called the Jester? I've never heard of that. And Springshot says, did you get the John Henry yet?
John Henry's the railroad guy, right?
I think he's the guy who raced the train and won, but I
Yeah,
cannot
I think so
remember.
too. We probably haven't yet because I believe that's kind of like a Western, like somewhere between Texas and California kind of story. And you have to remember, we start in New York and we make our way across the United States, so we haven't made it to John Henry yet. I think the furthest west we've made it so far is Wisconsin.
Springshot says, in reply, John was a Southern slave.
Yeah, but he worked on the railroad.
I don't
Didn't he?
remember.
Is that the right one?
exactly.
Can you look that up?
I will look up John Henry for you.
Yes, please.
Wish I had this game when I was in English class.
Because here's the other thing too, is that the stories that we get, the starting stories that we get, aren't how they evolve. So we all know the story of Johnny Appleseed, but we received a story about this guy who owned an apple orchard, whose dog had died, and he dug a grave for the dog in this apple orchard, and laid down the dog to rest, and then said, "I can't stay anymore. That's too many bad memories. I have to leave." You can see
question.
the line of that story to Johnny Appleseed. So it won't. If we come across John Henry, the original story, we may not know it immediately. Yes, sir.
Two things. First, are we looking John Henry Foster or Newman?
Well, he says he was a Southern slave, so that might help. It just says.
And second, I was going to read that one as well.
Okay, go on.
Princess also says, to me, specifically, the Fool is zero, the infinite potential that can be filled with anything, where the Jester is zero, and nothing can the nothing that can never be something. The beginning and the end of the tarot deck.
Oh, by the way, he says travel. It's not just people riding on these railroads. Most days I'll pick up a newspaper or magazine or an album somebody left behind, then I'll give it a read or a listen, maybe even sell it someplace where they don't know Bessie Smith yet. Have any optimistic tales? You figure out which John Henry was yet?
The John Henry I looked up, just the folklore one, doesn't have a last name, but he's an African American folk hero, and he is definitely the one that raced the train.
Yeah. So I don't know where that story, like, that story is told so often that just about everyone knows about it. But, like, same with Johnny Appleseed. But it has to have an origin, and I feel like because it's the railroad, it's probably more of a southwestern kind of thing. Like Texas, around Texas kind of area. And we haven't hit that point yet. So we'll probably find that story at some point. But because I feel like the way this game works is that they put the origin of that story in the state that it's supposed to be from. So we'll probably find it soon.
I do hope so. I do really like the story of John Henry. Like that folklore. I'll close that Wikipedia page. I'm really interested just to see the forms these people take now.
Ooh, hold on. Yeah, me too. He actually just said, I made my choice, but not every porter knew I wanted to join Mr. Randolph and the Brotherhood. I don't know who that is and what that is. They had seen friends fired for much smaller offenses and didn't want to ruin the good thing they had. But it was the only choice for me. Anyway, I'm in the mood for a good, happy story. You got any? Yeah, probably.
A lot of sad people here in America. I wonder why.
America's built on atrocities.
Yep.
He wants a hopeful story. The dreams in the cotton field might be hopeful. Oh, the underground network of communists. Probably hopeful. Tell the story of the underground network of communist metal workers. Yep, he liked that one. Oh, I need one more, and I don't know if I have enough time. Just like I told you, friend, miles are smiles. It's hard to have faith in a person if you never really know them. And let me tell you, it's hard to really know a porter. At least know them more than what he wants you to know. You can let him completely into your life, and he'll keep you in the dark about his. Have any optimistic tales? I'd like to hear one of those. Oh, we need a hopeful story, and if we get it, the eye will fully open, and we'll get his true form the next time we see him.
Nice.
Hopeful, hopeful.
So, with the tarot card thing and there being 12 characters, your character fills out 2 slots, being the Fool and the Jester, technically speaking. That means there are 2 other characters that are probably not around.
So I guarantee you one of them is the wolf. The wolf that turned us into the skeleton and having us walk around the stage. He's gotta be one of them.
I knew that was one of the open slots, but I don't know if there's another card that has 2 points in the deck where they are the same.
I have no idea. I know he's not the devil. Because we have that as a card. Oh no, we have the devil. It might be him though. I don't know. So he needs a hopeful. My dog's up and wandering around. I told him the story about the brothers who'd been wandering for 50 years. Yep, and we got it. Cool. Next time we see him. He'll be in his final form. Family. Porter spent so much time not seeing our own families, we gotta make new ones on the rails. There's a reason why we're the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters. It's because we are brothers. Another night over. I'll be going to my journey taking me down the rails this way, but it was good talking to you. So he's gonna be in West Virginia. South west of us. And sooner or later, the whole world's got to know what we really are, what's it really like. That's the only way we're gonna matter to anyone besides ourselves. Now that you know the bad, doesn't the good sound that much better? Karen goes both ways, though. Your truth a little more complicated, too? Oh, no, maybe he was only in Chapter 3. Yeah, so you can actually see, Oh, Springshot Gaming says Birmingham has a lot of black history, like Martin Luther King Jr. I have to go. Bye. Bye, Springshot Gaming. I hope you can come back later.
Yeah, have a good day.
But you can actually see Althea's true form. The blues guitarist. Yeah. Yes?
Sold her soul for a fiddle of gold.
Essentially, right? Cassidy...
I've been trying to make that joke for so long.
Cassidy is still at Chapter 2, so we don't have him. This was Dupree's true form. Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice, but as a true form, the fox has 2 different colored eyes.
Interesting. Oh, puppy. Puppy angry.
This was Mason. He was the World War I vet. Ah, it actually tells you World War I vet. Yeah. It was World War I. And Quinn was the hobo kid. And the Shaw was the sharecropper. He's the one with he's the crane with the tarot card. Alright, so yeah. We need to think. We need to go talk to little Ben. We need to head east. We need to head east.
So there are 16 characters.
Yeah, in total. We have in total we have the 2 of Pentacles, the Star, the World, the Lovers, the Fool, Justice, High Priestess, the Wheel, Three of Staves, Queen of Cups, the Empress, Tower, Nine of Swords, the Sun, the Emperor, and the Death.
I know there are 16 people as well, because when you were in the people page, there were 16
Yeah, there's
slots.
16 in total.
So I don't know if they're gonna have you be one of them.
Yeah, so one person per goes into... I don't know, that's the issue though. So it's like, we're the fool, but... Is our story the fool? I don't know. So it's kind of...
Well, nobody in the slot looks like you at all.
That we know of. We only know what we look like as a skeleton.
True, that
Yeah,
is true.
we don't know
I
what
don't
our
think...
original look was.
I feel though that the skeleton would be the non-eye opening one.
Non-eye opening?
Like it'd be a rare. So you know when you open the eye, they revert to their true form.
Yeah.
The skeleton would be before that, in my opinion.
Or better yet, what would be cool is that we find like this cowboy here, find him, and we get his eye all the way open, and he's like, he's telling the story. He got the eye open, shows his true form, and it's just us.
Would be interesting.
Yeah, yeah, and look, we have 76 stories out of 237. Jesus. I don't know if we'll ever collect all the stories. A lot of damn stories, man. Did we ever go to Washington?
Don't know.
I have no idea. I think we passed Philadelphia, which means we probably entered Washington, but I can't recall. Oh, says we did, which is good. Oh my god, they actually have a thing that allows us to see all the stories we missed.
Princess says in chat, next time on Hatter livestream, 100% all stories, 20-minute speedrun.
Fuck no.
This is a lot. This is a lie.
Yeah, no, even at the fastest movement, I don't think I could go from the top left corner of the states to the bottom right in any less than 10.
Yeah.
I want to... Oh, we see Big Ben's, Little Ben's thing. Oh, okay.
Chapter 3. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so, clearly he represents the unions and the miners.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
It's like many people.
Yeah. You're free to sit down here by me anywhere. You're free to sit down by me here as anywhere. Wouldn't that be something if it were true? Fact is, it ain't safe for you. Get found with me tonight, they'll think you're Union too, no matter what you tell them. And when it seems that we're all alone, you're nothing to deserve it. You ain't. I do appreciate the company, but if we make it through the night, be sure to say you ain't never met me. Both of us. See anything exciting out down the road? Mostly I just seen dogs. Exciting. What's exciting? Thrilling story. I don't think I can speedrun any game I have.
Yeah, that's fair.
Could be popular at mealtime. Where I'm from, the whole crew glued, I bet. Actually, I could probably speedrun Fallout 3, no glitches. Travel? Well, that's like the only game I know well enough to speedrun. I don't think I could speedrun anything else.
I just like kind of sitting down and enjoying games. I don't know if I can speedrun anything.
Yeah. Like, there's the thing to be
Also,
said for difficult games, which I do enjoy as well. Fair but difficult, but like, yeah, no.
Yeah. I've been playing this game called Crosscode. That's like a Zelda-esque kind of game. I'd super recommend it. It's really fun.
He wants another thrilling story.
You sure Yeah, not them, because there's like a fuck ton of those people there.
So the thing is that they don't like say anything different when they
Yeah, I
they
guess
represent when they show the true form. So
that's fair.
alright, I'll tell him Dupree's tale, focusing on the thrilling parts.
Well, yeah, if you tell somebody else's story, doesn't it just always work?
Yeah, it always counts for whatever story they want to hear. See anything exciting now, though? God, he wants more thrilling stories. Jesus. Mason's lost. Explaining the thrilling parts. Oh, come on. Death, once you light the fuse, there's gonna be fire in the hole. Some kids learn that before they learn their letters. Whether I live or die, that we started, it can't be stopped anymore. You tell me something sad, something you just want a story that goes with how the world already is. Got a couple of sad ones, I'll tell you what.
Sorry about that.
That's fine. The story of the elegant woman in the small town. It all comes seeping in, worse than trapped gas. Can't breathe like that. Why'd they build this country on top of the workers' graves? So many children with broken fingers and legs wheeled out little broken bits. Why? A mother counted every day who goes up the hill to work and who comes back down. The day my brother Big Ben wasn't with him, got starving for air. To think about it. That's not. Let's get angry instead. I think I only have 2 more stories I can tell before the night's over. So I need to tell him... God's life and time. It'll probably guarantee another phase of eye-opening. Yeah, we got there! Brings me back. There was a time when me and Big Ben could enjoy exciting stories like this one. Authority, some parts of us want it. When I was small, I couldn't wait to get down to the mines. Part of me still feels like that, I suppose. Someone tells you this is the way to be good and just. Don't matter if it's your father, a woman, the company, or the Lord laying these rules down. Some part of being human makes you want to jump to do. Some part of you is always going to be small, waiting for something bigger than you to say jump. Hey, what's freedom mean to you? You can sit here with me tonight, bake my bread, stoke the fire, count the stars, and then maybe I'll keep the first watch. Sign of friendship. Make it on like that till the sunrise, and we're close enough to free, ain't we? Nope, that was the last one. Oh, a good thing I called it right there. Right, is there any stories near us? Oh, yeah. Yeah, right up this way. Right, Philadelphia. Wait, hold on. Ah, here it is. Hear a story. You share the bus with an old man who shifts from foot to foot, thumbing his suspenders and watching the passing traffic with ink. Hey, he blurts out suddenly. A good story. The air of a man who's distracting himself from something, he stumbles quickly through a tale about ghosts who punish spiritualists for their hubris, confusing himself now and again, backtracking, adding new details out of order, barely piece the story together. Wait a second. Suddenly realized that he's told you a twisted version of the story about the seance, but massively changed, with whole new chunks you don't remember. True, the old man insists, turning his wincing eyes back towards the road, and with that, the conversation seems over. Right. So, we need to head south. Get another story. Dun, dun, dun.
I think the puppy is calmed, so I am back.
Yay. Right, so now we're going to talk to... I think the preacher. Jimmy. Yes, Jimmy the preacher. And we are one chapter away from seeing his true form. Fine, fine, I'll tell you about Paris. I was with the 369th Infantry Regiment. You heard of us by our other names, the Black Rattlers, Men of Bronze, the Harlem Hellfighters. That was us. Fine, because we thought it might show white folks that we were Americans too. Joke. The army wouldn't lead us. Gave us to the French. Not the first time America traded black bodies, I suppose. Hey, do you have any spooky campfire tales? Feels appropriate out here, right? You want a scary story? The story of the hotel haunted by the ghosts of twin toddlers. Perhaps I heard it from them white boys sometimes, how the trenches was a trap. They say this is the safest place for us, but we die here too. Some of us didn't have the luxury to complain from a bunker. Anyway, why don't you tell us a scary story? You must have heard some good ones. Alright, alright. Tell the story of the fortune teller whose dark past stains the souls of her clients. The rattle a congregation's bones, I bet. Luck? Nah, I've said it so many times, ain't no luck. Just the will of the Lord on earth. Sometimes I wonder, though, when he is so arbitrary in his application of justice and love, how different is he than the dice? You must have seen some pretty wild stuff on the road. What's the most exciting thing you've seen? Thrilling story. So, Casey Jones, the fastest railroader in America. You got a pretty wild life, you know that? Travel? The only good thing about that the war was the men I traveled with. Bearcats, all fire and heart. I can imagine a better world just because I've seen the best of what we can do. Lately, my journey is pretty ordinary. Just walking to church to church. What about you? Been on any adventures? Another thrilling story. I think I have one or two more stories I can tell him, so I need... The story of the Thunderbird people who fly when they fall from great height. I swear I heard a story as good as that in a long minute. Right, if I get one more story, I'll be able to open his eye. Sweden, a major, a Frenchman, told me all men were free so long as we weren't chained to a wall. Thought he was waging my spirits. Next day he gave the order for us to head to Moose Aragon. A few days we lost 850 free men. Might have seen some pretty wild stuff out on the road. What's the most exciting thing you've seen? Another thrilling story. The story of the bull who terrorized travelers on the road down by Mobile. Got a pretty wild life, you know? And we got there! Next time we see him, we'll see his true form. Authority, when you lose respect for someone who once held it. I left because I couldn't stand living with Pops anymore. He was a living example of a hypocrite, a liar dressed up as a saint. All that muscle was a front, the weakest man I ever knew. Alright. Night's over. We'll get walking. My journey takes me up this way. Literally right where I was! What's in this paper they gave me said, Chaplain James Coates, displaying gallantry in administering the wounded after terrific fire, exposing himself at all times to reach their sides. Quadrant love is what that is. Yeah, they gave us a Sunday parade when we came home. By noon on Monday, we were black again. These fellas are lounging in the front of a half-finished office building, taking their lunch. Hey, one calls, waving you down. Rick was telling us a story. Listen, okay, and you tell us if it's bullshit or not. Rick, a credulous-seeming fellow, starts telling a story about the bushwhackers, vengeful ghosts, as well as the story of the wounded soldier, changed in a few major ways. Definitely part bullshit, right? Also a little real. Half the group groans, the man waves you down, claps you on the back, and shares a bottle of pop with you. Swear it's true, it happened, Rick protests. Yeah, Rick, you believe everything you hear. Professor Chaos says, how's everyone doing? I'm doing fine, Professor Chaos. How about you? We're just collecting stories here and seeing the true form of folk who, are part of history of America, the United States. How about you, Chaos? Alright, we get to see Jimmy's final form, the Broken Angel. Wow. Let me level with you, friend. Ain't sure there's a me no more. I'm Baptist when I need to be Baptist. I'm Methodist when I need to be Methodist. Even been Catholic once or twice. I'm so interested in what y'all need that I ain't quite put a finger on what I believe these days. See, I ain't a preacher. I'm a grifter. Only thing is, I can't quite tell if I'm proud or ashamed of that fact. Must have seen some pretty wild stuff on the road. What's the most exciting thing you've seen? Friends' adventures. Got a pretty wild life, you know that? Travel? I count myself lucky. I've been among the rare few who can truly say they've seen the world. Only thing is, the world looked back at me and I don't think it liked what it saw. Hey, you have any spooky campfire tales? Feels appropriate out here, right? Mason's lost. Professor says, good! Just finished studying with some friends from church. Nice! Wow, how thematic church and we're talking to this gentleman. Death, every time I leave a congregation behind, whatever man I'd seen in that place dies. I don't mind that too much though, just an opportunity to get a new face ready for the next church. Can't have a resurrection without death, right? Lately my journey's pretty ordinary, just walking, church to church. What about you? Been on any adventures? You please tell. Fortune, let me level with you, child. Ain't no hell bigger or harder than the belief that all of this is some greater good. Anyway, why don't you tell me a scary story? Jaws, Life and Times. Oh, one more and I think I made it. It's been a long time playing at being an authority figure that people started actually treating me like one. Not sure I'd ever live up to that, but maybe if folks thinks I have, it's good enough. Lately my journey's pretty ordinary, walking church to church. Franklin's Travels. There we go, we got there. I swear. Sadness? I see them preachers in the pulpit, all tears and shouting. Feel the Lord moving through them to holy grief. My sadness isn't holy, not otherworldly. Mine is very material misery. Feel in my bones, my muscles. I ache. Before you go, I just need to know at the end of the day, I am a hopeful man. It might not be the next stop on the journey, but the one after that. We're on a journey to be a better America. Only thing is, I don't think I have the strength to walk much further. So walk for me, alright? Walk for. Alright. Give me. Right, so I can head north and get another alteration to the story, but honestly, mind me to head to for characters. Turns out, unmarked.
Professor Chaos asks, was this game a gift or did you find it?
Technically it was both. It was a gift to myself.
Fair enough. I'm pretty sure it's on Steam though, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
How much was it?
Like $10, $12.
Well, there you go. If anybody wants to get it, who's watching, it's on Steam for like $12.
I think it was on sale though during the Steam winter sale. However, I think it's relatively cheap.
You talking about this game?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds like a really, really good game.
That's like. I mean, I saw it play and I thought it was so interesting. The cool thing is you can play it multiple times and have completely wild and different ways of countering the game. So, store page is what I'm looking for. It is currently
Professor Chaos says it's 20.
20. Thank you, Professor Chaos. I was literally looking it up. So yeah, it was on sale for like 10 or 12 during the winter sale.
Yeah, and I mean if you play it, it'll be absolutely different than the one you're watching us play now.
Yep. For multiple reasons. So the stories that you gather and the stories that you tell will be different, and the path that you take will be different because each person. I'm gonna enter Washington D.C. real quick to see if I've been in there. Each time you find a person, when they move on to another location, it's randomized where they'll go. I think it stays within a specific area though, so they won't like teleport halfway across them. They won't teleport to the other side of the states. I don't think I've been into Washington before. How to look at these shining buildings in the direct sunlight. You feel like an ant crawling among the tombs of giants. Away from the monuments, though, you find a city that's a little more human. Explore. The mailman's uniform is dated and worn. He sits on the edge of a road, head in hands. Looks up as you approach. Can you help? Paw clipped me. I think my legs. Well, I'd appreciate if you could deliver this for me. Holds out a brown envelope. Okay, here's the thing. I was literally just thinking about the fact that another way that the game is different is that you won't always get the same stories, because I distinctly remember the playthrough I was watching had a story about you had to deliver a letter to somewhere in the city, and this part of that city didn't exist until you asked about it, and then it existed, but then it was this weird thing, right? The letter's address is James Gibson Sr., 120 J Street. But the city stymies you. The block runs straight from I to K. Stop a man for directions, but he shakes his head and laughs. Someone's playing a joke on you. There's no J Street. I can keep looking or head back. And this will also affect the story that's told.
You should keep looking.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep looking. Over here, a woman in a brown coat overheard your question. She steers you down an alleyway. Someone chalked a big orange J on the wall. I thought Clovis was
shanked.
Yeah, feel like it might be. I thought Clovis was late. Go left up ahead. Old man Gibson's the third on the right. Alone. As you round the corner, the world changes. J Street is out of place, is out of time. The city forgot an entire street a century ago. Carried on around it, oblivious. Even the noise and bustle of DC can't penetrate this little pocket. Knock on Gibson's door. Professor Chaos says, my version of the store page says it's similar to Firewatch. I haven't played Firewatch, but I have seen an entire playthrough of it. If you liked Firewatch, you probably would enjoy this game, yes. It's very story-driven and based and very interesting. The one probably difference is that once you play through Firewatch, it's mostly similar if you tried playing through it again. The man who answers is ancient and stooped. Here's the letter. You think it's from my son? I don't see so well anymore. Will you read it to me? Tear the letter open. It isn't good news. I can tell him the truth or lie.
Truth will make it a sad story. Lying will make it maybe a hopeful one.
Or still a sad one. If we tell the story that we lied. The thing, Professor Chaos says, it doesn't seem like it. Professor Chaos says, I love Firewatch. That's fair. Like, yes, they are, like, different. They're not, like, over the third person. But they're story based. They're about the story that's being told. The character that, part of that. So, if you like story based and character kind of driven thing, then you'll probably like it. If you also like very artistic, games, because Firewatch, although more rounded, was an artistic expression. Something like. Ooh, Princess says, truth, you're the storyteller, don't lie, that devalues the story. That's fair, because the guy that told, like, the wolf that got us to do this whole fucking thing, was like, these little truths that get evolved into these big epic stories that are told that help found and shape our country all have some truth in them. But yeah, let's tell him the truth, I guess. Good read on that, Princess, though. Like, I don't even think that's a mechanics, I just think that's a good read on it.
Gonna make it a sad story, but, I mean, nothing wrong with those.
He fights it. Face crumbles. Tears roll down his cheeks. I didn't know. I've been waiting a long time for this. His shaking hand takes the letter. Thank you for telling me. We move on. I think the playthrough that I watched actually had them lie. I'm not sure. And in Washington, there is the spaghetti plate, the fried chicken, a glass of wine, or PB&J.
Wine.
Ugh.
Oh, I don't need any of the food. No. I like to look at them and be like, because like, Louisiana, like, New Orleans had, like some stuff that was like purely New Orleans. They're very, very classical New Orleans food.
Yeah.
But all the big cities seem to have food that are like very tied to what that city. We need to head.
One glass, and you're not taking any driving events for the rest of the stream.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing though. I'm not driving. I'm hitchhiking. So whoever's driving can't drink the wine. I can. I'm fine.
You're also a skeleton. You don't have a stomach.
I'm also a skeleton. I'm also a skeleton.
How do you tell stories when you're a skeleton?
Ha 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 ha. You aren't really a skeleton and you know it.
To be fair, magic.
Yeah, no, we are still the same person of that day. We just can't die or age, but we still feel. He was very specific. You will still hurt. You will still hunger. You will still need to sleep. But you can't die until your quest is done. Alright, I think I don't recall what chapter this will be on. Alright, so let's hear the story first. The kindly old man sharing the shade under the bridge with you tells a few rambling stories, some true-seeming, some conspicuously less so. All true, he shows you. There's a history in this place, going all the way back to Indian times. Strange stuff happens around here. Can't all be true. Sure it is, he scoffs, and then, as if to prove himself right, he launches in a story about the brothers who sought one another for 50 years, and their spirits still search today. And this one, you know, it's the story of the two brothers who wandered around seeking one another for 50 years, but wilder and stranger than you remember. I know this one. See then, the old man laughs. I ain't pulling your leg, it's all true. Thing is, I don't know. Oh yeah, now that story has reached its final evolution. But I don't know if it's like a sad story now or what. Franklin, the porter. Oh no, we get to see his true form.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Team, catch up.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay then.
Ooh, yes.
Well,
The
he's-
one with many masks.
Yeah, he was kind of playing it up as that he was telling us before that you could let a porter into your life, and he could know everything about you, and you would know nothing of his. Because a porter will put on a mask of whatever is necessary to, you know, make you feel good, make you feel happy, because it's a part of the job. Right? Professor K says, Skeleton, are you Manny from Grim Fandango? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe. By the way, I've never played Grim Fandango. I've heard great things, but I've never actually played it.
I've seen a full playthrough. It's interesting.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think it'd be
I
fun.
imagine.
I think you would like it.
Yeah, probably. Some people like to think of porters as some special kind of black folk. I suppose that's true. I don't know if I don't. I know I don't always correct them. We ain't special, not really. No matter where I go in this country, I'm a black man before anything else. That was true before I put on the uniform, and it's gonna be true long after I'm buried in it. Anyway, I'm in the mood for a good happy story. Got any? Yep, I'm gonna tell you Quinn's story. Not necessarily happy, but, you know, it doesn't really matter. A positive attitude, that's what I like to hear. Travel is changing the world, friend. When we drop off a new jazz album someplace folk ain't never heard it before, we're dropping a little bit of the new culture. We help it spread. Now, we ain't writing these damn stories, but I think that's worthy of some credit. Tell me something. Tell me something that'll make me laugh. I could use a chuckle. Story of Little Ben's struggle. Choice. What's choice mean when you don't have a choice to be born black in this country? I choose to make the best living I can out of a difficult situation not chosen with my best interests in mind. Anyway, you must have some of the funny stories to tell. Share one? Now, I get with these stories because, you know, you can't really tell the history of the United States without, you know, black folk and immigrants and all these other really tragic stories. I do want to make clear, for everything that I say and everything that I agree with a lot of that's going on and being like, you know, this is terrible things. I'm a white dude. I'm a white dude. I'm a white man. So in some of these cases, I have very little context to like real world experience to call on. So I want to make that clear to the audience. Professor K says this guy's real name is Majora. God damn it.
I don't know. I feel like he's more of a happy mask man. Maybe he sells one side.
yeah, that's true. Death. Not sure how it'll come to me, but it will. Train is a deadly thing, all burning fire and crushing gears and choking smoke. And if none of that gets me, I'll die the old-fashioned way, if I stay here long enough. Always figured that was the real message of the 1150 turn. Got any stories with a bit of excitement to them? Luck? I'm real lucky. Real lucky. I feel guilty complaining like I do. With this job, I'm a hell of a lot better off than plenty of the other black folks I know. I think about that. My relative fortunes, and it takes some of the sting off. Anyway, you must have some funny stories to tell. Right, I think we need one more story, and this will be complete.
It looks like it. His eye looks like it's always already open. Or it's almost open, I mean.
Yeah. It has to be, like, wide open.
Yep.
Alright, so this is the last time we're gonna meet the porter. Trust. There's nothing like being a working, traveling man to let you know that money is the only thing you can trust in America. Every person, every town, every train, the same story. Thinking yourself is just one part of the whole people can make you feel real small. I believe some black folks become porters to try to get above that all. But they just end up feeling small in a different type of way. I think of all I am and all the masks I wear. Franklin, Black Man, Pullman Porter, Railroad Man, Union Man, now none of the and how none tell the whole story. So why try? It's freeing to know you mean more than what other folks think. So what about you, friend? Who are you, completely? Professor Cass agrees with you, Zero.
I do say many things that I myself consider to be right. And I'm glad other people consider to be right as well.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yes. Also, what he just said about I wonder what your thing is or whatever.
Yeah.
Super feels like it's foreshadowing.
Oh yeah,
Just
super,
saying.
super 100%, 100%.
I want to know what our story is.
In fact, when he said that, I was like, wait, is all 16 people secretly also part of us?
We're all one person.
Nah.
Like he's talking about, like, you know, the many faces of who you are. It's like, obviously we wear many faces, right? So maybe all the other, maybe we're like, as a part of us that's also like, maybe we're also, you know, the grifter who takes things from people, and the person who goes around just trying to make people feel good, you know, all the little parts of the people being, you know, being what they are.
Maybe. I could also see it part of it being that all of these people who were telling stories have also met that wolf,
Maybe.
and their task is to have a story to tell their story.
Right. So we need to head up through Wisconsin into Minnesota and then head south. Right. So northwest. Yeah. I'm gonna have to cross the river, aren't I? Probably. Yeah. I'm gonna. Problem. How do I cross the... Oh, over there. Alright. I was gonna be like, why the fuck do I cross the river?
Well, you see those black dotted lines? It's time to walk across the rock.
Ha 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 ha.
Your balancing act is good. You have the little ting 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 of a story nearby.
What? Where? Hold on. What?
The little black X in front of you or above you. The music notes.
Oh no, that's not a story nearby. The music notes are the you can move faster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to hit the arrow buttons in accordance to where the notes are, and then you'll move faster. He starts whistling and moves faster.
Okay. I have sound off because I would hear you.
No, yeah, no, that's fair. That's totally fair. In Columbus, a policeman in a truck on the corner is having a pretty wild argument with someone on the other end of the radio. No, he keeps saying, no way. You listen in as the man on the radio finishes the wild story about the French spy seeking delivery of a coded message. I swear that this is what happened, the cop over the radio insists. That's when it clicks. You know the story. The strange version of the story of the mysterious woman with the letter delivery, but a bit's left out and replaced. Ain't true, the cop in the truck sighs. He only knew. The game also has an auto walk function, so I'm not even touching the controller right now. I'm just moving, which is great.
I love the second delay where you say that while your character's standing still.
To you, yes.
There's an auto walk function, he says, not moving. And I know you were on your end because you don't have the delay, but
Yeah.
it's funny to a degree.
Yeah. So, pass through Chicago. We're not gonna stop in Chicago. I can hop on the train. Chicago and Northwest. Hey, Milwaukee! Alright. Am I... Okay, so I'm getting close.
Been walking on the railroad.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna hitchhike. Now, how do I hitchhike again?
You put your thumb out and you begin to just go wood wood.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, smart Alec. Controls. Hitchhike is Q. First, there's a story over here. The farmer loiters beside a couple of crates of berries, idly watching the clouds go by. Waiting for the pickup, he says, trying to make small talk. Hey, wanna hear a wild story? Absolutely. Just telling you a story about the 60 unidentified corpses buried together in one cemetery. It takes a couple minutes, but suddenly you recognize the story about the anonymous grave. Whoever told it to the farmer changed a lot, but it's still a pretty good story. Right, and then I'm just gonna hitchhike. The one thing I don't like about hitchhiking is I can't actually control when I get out of the damn car.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember last time I was here, you took a drive halfway across the country.
Yep. Asshole!
Did somebody just drive past you?
Yeah, 100%. Just fucking left. Oh, at this rate, I'm gonna make it to my damn destination.
I was about to say, you're gonna be hitchhiking along this road, and you're gonna be like a mile away from your, like a few steps away from your thing, and you'd be like, God damn it. And then a driver will come by, pick you up, and scoop you away.
Alright, here's a fucking car. God! He left for me again.
Well, no hitchhiking. Maybe don't stand in the middle of the road when you hitchhike.
I think it's because I'm not actually directly in the middle of the road when it happens. I keep like glitching out a little bit.
Sure.
Alright. Minneapolis.
Really hope you get a car before then, because there's a bridge coming up.
Nope, I can't even cross the bridge actually. I need to get through over the river by another way. The baby buffalo lies tangled by a fence, wire biting into its flesh. Please, it says, I must reach the sanctuary before they find me. The light here is has a thin quality. Colors are oddly muted. There's a taste of something old in it. Ask who's chasing. They are hunters of my kind. I am the last born. Every year repeats. I must run, must chase. There's a cycle that lets my people survive. You hear hoofbeat. Away back down the road, and a cloud of dust rises. The buffalo struggles. Please help me. You can leave the buffalo or free the buffalo.
Free the buffalo.
Free the buffalo.
Free the buffalo.
The wire's cut into your hands, but you untangle the animal. The buffalo charges off as soon as it's free. Come on! You glance behind. A trio of riders emerge at the head of the dust cloud. Follow the buff. You're alongside the buffalo. Not fair, it grunts. Just ahead. Not far, it grunts. Just ahead. You see the boundary, a line of rocks that mark the border, but the hoofbeats sound close. The sound dips, and the beast stumbles and falls. They'll be on you any second. Carry the buffalo or distract the riders.
I think distract. Maybe I don't know. This is a hard one.
Because it is a baby buffalo, but I don't know how big a baby buffalo is.
Well, here's the thing. If you distract the riders, they're likely just gonna run you over.
Probably.
And not give a shit.
Let's carry the buffalo.
Yeah, carry the buffalo also has its own risk.
You snatch up the beast and run for the boundary line. All you can hear is the pounding hooves and the whooping of the riders. They're on you just before you reach the line. You haul the buffalo forward as you fall. The buffalo crosses the line and turns at a defiant bellow, a primal sound that far outstrips its size. It drags its feet across the dirt, kicking up a cloud of dust. When it settles, the four are nowhere to be seen. You hear the distant clamor of a herd in motion. Alright.
Oh, that buffalo just de-existed, people.
Minneapolis. The Mississippi here is lined with grain mills, factories, train tracks, smoke towers rising stark against the sky. Some of these factories are empty. There's a tense look in a lot of folks' eyes.
You think that was a hopeful story?
It's probably a thrilling story, to be honest, but we'll find out. We'll tell it to somebody and see what they say. Let's explore Minneapolis. 3 trucks sit on a waterfront. The driver's securing the cargo. 12 cop cars form a protective half ring around them. Their occupants seem to be gearing up for combat. Ask what's happening. You approach a pair of cops. The broad one pushes shells into a shotgun with a practice motion and an undercurrent of excitement. His weary partner indicates the trucks. Got to get these through. Keep them secure. From what? The broad cop grunts. You been living under a rock? Strikers, says the other. Socialist motherfuckers, the broad one adds. The wiry cop looks away. What are they striking? The broad cop sneers. Doesn't matter. They'd better fall in line. The other shakes his head. My cousin's out there. I don't think their demands are... Maybe you're standing on the wrong side. Come on. And they walk off, join a brief huddle. Sabotage their car or leave.
Why would you sabotage the car?
These are cops trying to protect this caravan of goods from strikers.
Oh no.
So,
Zero.
go sabotage their car.
So, Zero.
I'm muted because Poppy is loud and angry. Literally the worst timing.
Zero, have you ever heard of the Pinkertons?
No.
Alright, so here's a bit of history for you. A while ago, probably in the late 1800s, late 1800s, unions were very frowned upon. And they're still pretty frowned upon by people nowadays. But they were super frowned upon before. When masses of people would go on strike, the Pinkertons' detective agency would be called in to deal with them. And the Pinkertons would break up the strike however they could. Unfortunately, this often meant beating and
murders.
And someone would often die. Pinkertons were well armed with rifles and revolvers, while strikers were often just had like improvised weapons, if weapons at all, because often strikers could be quite peaceful protests about how conditions would be in factories and other working environments. It would not be unreasonable for cops or the Pinkertons to protect a caravan of supplies going into the factories that keep them running while the people outside were striking, so that the strike would be forced to go on longer before the factory
and people were forced to starve.
Yeah, because, if they're striking, they're not making money. So, if the factory can outlast the strikers have to disband and eventually would go back to work or get fired and happen.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I heard the word striker, and for some reason in my mind, I imagined somebody was on a horse with a sword.
Yeah,
like some type of,
it's a person who's striking.
Yeah, no, I completely fumbled the words in my brain. It was like, striker sounds dangerous. I get what you mean now.
Yes.
Sorry, I was been muted. My brother was screaming at the dog who was barking, which made her bark more at the screaming brother. So I just heard, woof, woof.
So yeah, even like some of the cops are like, the strikers aren't that bad. Like the demands aren't that bad, and the other cops are like, no, fuck off. They're striking. It doesn't matter what they want. They're communists. They all need to be taken care of.
No, it isn't a bad thing that their car got fucked up, huh?
Yeah, it was about to be. Professor Gas says, I had to step away for a second. You were wondering what your story is. Don't you know that the real story is the friends you made along the way? That's essentially kind of what is going on, to be honest. Sabotage of the car. It's a token act of resistance, but it's something. You drop onto your belly, the car between you and the gathering cops, and you locate the fuel line. You jab a knife into it. It takes a few attempts, but you nick it just right. Cover your face as gasoline flows out. You stand to find the thin cop watching. He looks between you and the fuel leaking over the asphalt. Two of you lock eyes for a long second. Go, he says. On. So here's a note. If for any reason, maybe in a different country, or something is going really wrong, I'm not saying you should do this thing, but if concrete is being poured, and if someone will want to defy that act, if you poured in about a pound or 2 pounds of sugar into a big mixing drum of concrete, I think an entire truck of concrete, the concrete will never settle. It will never dry out and become normal concrete. It will stay liquidy. Not saying you should do these things, but that is a fact. That will happen if you pour 2 pounds of sugar into a thing of concrete. So, Minneapolis is a hot dish, ice cream float, spaghetti cake, and a Reuben. The hospital needs someone to mop the floor for the day. A nurse gives you instructions. Rat-tat-tat, scrub surgery A and floor 2. Skip the rooms with the newborns. Ask Dr. Penny if he wants his office done. This is very important. Get these hallways before lunch. Got it. Try to remember all the nurse's very important instructions, but it's impossible. You haven't seen her in hours. The place seems busy as hell and there's nobody watching you. Try to find her or mop the floors at random.
Try to find her.
You roll your bucket through the halls, asking for folks where she might be, but it turns out the dark-haired middle-aged woman in the nurse's clothing described about 50 people in the building. Eventually, you find her in a room with a wheezing child. What floors do I mop? While flowed, she opens her mouth to admonish you, then stops. Well, actually, I don't remember, she admits. Just mop stuff, okay? You spend the rest of the day absently mopping stuff. The pay is just okay.
Okay.
I feel like that child's gonna be part of a story later on.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Alright. So, let's head north to Minneapolis.
North.
Minneapolis.
Yeah, north through Minneapolis.
Heather says one thing, and Elle and I immediately jump on him. North, you say? What direction is that?
Well, I knew I had north, but I wasn't sure if it had to.
North.
I wasn't sure if it had to be northeast or northwest. Now it turns out it's just straight north. So I was like, well, I guess we're just heading north.
It's north.
North. Oh, puppy again. I'm muted.
North of the New Hampshire Norths.
I mute myself because the puppy is barking, and then the puppy immediately stops barking. Ah.
Duluth. My aunt actually lives in Duluth.
You have an aunt in Duluth?
Yeah, Duluth, Minnesota.
Ah.
There's a truck parked here. The driver mistakes you.
How do you keep track of an ant?
There's a truck parked here. The driver mistakes your look for curiosity. You want to see something interesting? He asks, pointing to the trunk. He opens it. There's hundreds of metal tubes with little numbers screwed on caps, sorted in metal and wooden racks. What is it? We've been surveying, he says. It's my job to study soil health. The truck lid has a map taped to it, marking with numerous dots. I can show you the one from your hometown if you'd like to see it. If you see it here. You won't say, oh, it's not on the map.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I think it's not on the map would be more interesting than saying...
This real stuff about your backstory.
Except, you know, it might just not be on the map, because he doesn't have the whole country, right? It's an official-looking map, but the state borders and rivers are wrong. Half your country is missing. Surveyor offers you a coin for directions to your hometown. but his notes are funhouse mirror English writing. Fascinating, he murmurs. We learn so much from you folk. Alright, that was weird.
Ah.
Surrounded by fields of
Sup,
corn. Oh, hi, Eli.
No, I was
Sup,
gonna mention
nerd?
Eli, but you were talking. Sup, Eli?
Surrounded by fields of corn and rye, a small farm lies fallow. Its tiny stable crumbles, disrepair. Foxtails sprout from its fields. Inside, the sunlight filters through the two small windows, turns to hazy gray shafts, the thick dust that blankets the. There's not much to the way of furniture, but on a rustic kitchen table, an handwritten note catches your eye. But open.
It's in the well.
No, I'm kidding. It doesn't say that. It's addressed to Martha. Oh my god. God damn it.
Martha!
Why'd you say that name?
Dumb, dummy, dumb.
Professor Cat says a piece of this world is missing. Look, the Martha thing isn't super stupid. Like, having Superman say something that makes Batman realize he's also a human being. Like,
Yes, I have also watched that video, but
yeah,
yes, you're right.
That's not bad, but like, we just seen Batman kill like 5 dozen people before this. Like, that's stupid.
And also, don't say it like you're currently trying to get unconstipated, please.
It's addressed to Martha, and unsigned. Her name is written in the stiff letters of a man for whom literacy is more formality than habit. If you find this, I'm already gone. Don't come looking for it. The rest is scratchy spirals and circles of halfway readable writing about the noise from the cellar and the hunger in the darkness. Cellar door on the edge of the abandoned kitchen. Tension. Walk away, or go down into the cellar. Professor Chaos says a piece of the world is missing, and also, why did you say that name?
Go to the cellar, go to the cellar.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. The door is unlatched. The ground below is deeply stained with some dark residue you can't identify. Upon it, only ancient piles of chains and manacles slowly turning to rust. Alrighty then. What the fuck?
That's not good.
You spend a while in the cool shade as this gas station. You notice the 3 kids sitting beside their family car, while their parents argue loudly with the cashier inside. Yeah, they tell a story. He starts telling a story about the revenge of a passenger pigeon. You realize, almost instantly, that he's telling the story of the tale of the killer pigeons, with new, exciting, over-the-top details. He tells it well. You don't hear the ending, but the parts you definitely heard are easy to remember. It'll stick for a while. Yeah, Professor Chaos says, yikes! Yeah. We're stone throws away from Canada. And there's nothing that far. And once you cross Canada, there's like no.
Canada doesn't exist.
Apparently, it's just nothingness.
This is not a story about Canada.
True, that is true. Although I do know Canada has a lot of like folk stories and tales that should be told as well. It's very interesting stuff.
Do anyone hear the mythical story of this person named Wolverine? I hear that's a Canada original. Okay, I'll stop.
Got 2 good hands, the old man calls. A downed tree has flattened his front yard and his porch too. His two sturdy sons are chopping it into movable pieces. Throw the logs onto the old man's cart. At least I can sell it for firewood, he says, tossing you a coin. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so we actually are about to cross state line into Dakota. North Dakota, specifically. Oh, and we found Fargo. Fargo,
Did you know that
Minnesota.
Did you know that North Dakota has specific stuff in it for like people who have only visited it last of all the states?
Really?
Yup.
That's funny as shit. At least they owned it. Like, man, no one wants to visit our state. Well, let's give them shit for us visiting our state last. That's not bad.
I mean, they're not entirely owning it. They're like best for last, which is, depressing.
The Twister touches down in a cornfield. Fence posts fly in its wake. A huge black stallion charges towards the tornado. On his back, a cowboy whips his lasso through the churning air, nearly matching the Twister's speed. His wild laughter carries on the wind. God damn it, Bill, another man hollers, clapping his hands to his hat to keep it from flying off. Quit being a damn fool! The man on the horse turns towards him and flashes a beautific grin before digging in his heels harder into the horse's flank. Watch the cowboy or seek shelter.
Watch that
fucking cowboy, yeah.
I don't care if you get hurt.
Oh, his Stetson goes flying, caught by a gust. He doesn't seem to notice. He barks a single "Yeehaw!" as he stands up in the stirrups, leaning into the whirlwind. In a moment, man and beast are enveloped in a storm, and all you can hear is Bill's wild laughter. Move on.
To say something from chat, Professor Chaos asks, anyone ever played Death Road to Canada? No.
I have not, however, I have it on my wish list, and it looks super fun. It's also a game where we can name people and customize people. It's a zombie apocalypse game, but you can name people. You can name people in it and make them custom things. It's a very cute cartoony game.
In the zombie apocalypse.
In the zombie apocalypse, yes. It's very fun to look at and play, from what I know. So it's on my wish list, but I don't own it yet. If I ever got it, I'd definitely play it.
Rebuild 3 is also a zombie apocalypse game with a cartoony art style about running away to Canada.
Yep. I don't know why people think running to Canada is a great idea.
Because it's cold and the zombies will get slowed down.
Oh, it depends on the zombies, though, because if they rot...
Why not bring the zombies to the fucking bayou where they'll rot and get eaten by alligators?
Yeah, so that's the thing. If the zombie virus, which there are things that, if mutated enough, could make a zombie-esque virus, if the zombie virus causes them to rot, then you don't want to go to a frozen location, because that'll keep the zombies alive longer. However, if they're just, like, infected people, like fungi or something, then...
Well, if they're cold, they'll slow down.
Yeah, but that also means that they'll be covered in snow, which means you won't be able to see them, and when it thaws out, you're going to have zombies.
Yeah, that's why you just go to the Arctic.
How are you going to survive in the Arctic, though? That's the issue.
And also, global warming's coming for your number.
Also...
if it's a zombie apocalypse...
Professor Chaos says you can get Rick in that game.
Have to be actively countered.
Professor Chaos says you can get Rick in that game, and the only word he can say is "call."
Okay.
A horse auction. A well-dressed man waves you over, making some big deals today. He brags, fingering a bill where you can see. Get me when number 60 goes up, okay? You stand in the crowd and wait, and then run back to fetch him. He pays you absurdly well for doing almost nothing at all.
Awesome. Thanks, rich asshole.
And we're going to Fargo, Minnesota. Don't you know?
Yay.
Don't you know? She's getting married, the soldier tells you. The two of you observe the church from the dust road, straining to hear the faint joy of the ceremony transpiring within. I fought for 10 years to come home because she said she'd be here waiting for me. Look. Leave it? No or yes?
Yeah, I can believe that.
So now what am I supposed to do? What does she expect? That I should throw myself from the nearest cliff, walk into the ocean? He snorts, steps off down the road. Follow him or wait behind?
Follow his ass.
Seems surprised to see you a few steps behind. No, he says. While I'm going, you can't come. Only then that you notice there's something very wrong with his eyes. Alright. Oh! Princess says, I'd flee to the tundra of Russia. No humans for miles, open plains. It will be easy to try to shoot zombies if you ever encounter one.
Well, the zombie virus might come from the tundras of Russia.
And also, then you have to live in Russia. Nobody's ever had a good time with that.
You see, it might be an ancient virus that nobody has any defense against now, that was recently thawed by global warming out of the tundra. There's diseases like that. This has happened in real life. Was that too sad?
No.
Okay.
And also, again, you have to live in Russia. Like I said, and this has the same problem of you have to live in Florida, but just go to Florida where the methagators will eat them.
Did you see methagators?
Yes, alligators on meth. It's Florida.
Alright. Right, so I'm gonna have to follow the river to Iowa.
Who called that something Iowa?
Princess says you might encounter zombie methagators.
Jesus, then we're all fucked.
I really want to make my video game I have in my head called Bioalchemist, where you're gonna make monsters and out of like you can put a goblin in the head slot and it'll have the head of a goblin and all the benefits of having a goblin for a head, right? But I want there'll be a DLC or something that's like the Jersey Devil and the Florida Man.
The Florida Man isn't a thing.
Florida Man's less of a cryptid and more of a wanted poster.
But yeah, it's funny though. Like,
Okay, that's
Fair
It is
point.
like funny things like the Easter Bunny, Florida Man, Santa Claus, and yeah, someone I'd have to think of a bunch more to really make it worth it. Oh, Des Moines. Oh, Professor Guy says, just because I brought it up, I'm mentioning Rick. Here are my thoughts on the Walking Dead games. 1 is great, 2 is bad, / close to awful, 3 is meh, and the miniseries is good, not great. I played the Walking Dead, like the first 2 chapters of the first game, and then beyond that I don't recall. Deep in the fields, you come across a group of young men clearing weeds and sod from a roadside plot. Pitchforks flying, weeds dying, and you almost don't notice the dark lump beside them is a dozing boy, lying smack dab in the middle of their work. There's an odd frenzy to the way the boys are ripping the sod apart. When you notice you approach, they jog over and stand silently between you and the sleeping comrade. The youths share a nervous look. The oldest steps forward. Get going, he blurts, leveling his pitchfork at your gut. His hands are shaking. He seems serious. Is your friend alright, or okay, and leave?
Is your friend alright?
Never turn away from a good story.
Ah, you step close and the ringleader loses his nerves. He died, he blurts. He was sweating and crying and just fell over. They won't come get us till get us with the truck till sundown. You realize now the sleeper's been posed. His assy shadow on his face isn't cast by a tree. Aww. Mama loiters beside a couple of crates, waiting for pickup. One hears the story. Tells you about the lighthouse lamp, which would only burn in the presence of true love. It takes a couple of minutes, but you suddenly realize it's the story about the blessed lighthouse sanctuary, where souls could live, and souls in love would find respite. Whoever told it to the former changed a lot, but it's a pretty good story. Alright. Chaos says, yeah. Chaos says, fun fact, in the Philippines, those crocodiles 21 feet long. Hey, Cedar Rapids. I know Cedar Rapids.
How are they sitting?
Cedar, not sitting.
I hate
Camp. Who are we meeting? Oh, Cassidy! Yes! Cassidy. Actually, this says, it's such a shame what became of Telltale. They made one of my favorite game series and Aaron Max episode series. They made a lot of really good games, including one that I don't mind playing on stream, which is not Fairy Tale. The Big Bad Wolf.
the fuck. I had it, but whatever.
Yeah,
let me just.
The one with Bigsby, the Big Bad Wolf, the Heat Detective.
What the fuck was that called? The Wolf Among Us.
The Wolf Among Us, that's right. Contemplation. Go ahead.
I would desperately love to play Sam and Max for everyone, with the knowledge that it's actually, like, I love it, but it's a very well-written, very funny game that has not aged well in the slightest, and wasn't the best game even when it came out.
Yeah, I have 5 chapters of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And Professor Chaos did say The Wolf Among Us, but we just figured it out after you said, just before you said it, Chaos. Sometimes I want to hear sadness that resonates with my own. Alright, sad story. Tell the story of the soldier who came to find his girl getting married.
But Hada, we're talking about it right now, on stream.
There's some more travel I could do. I think a lot about going back to Frisco where it all began. I could find Silas and Pauline and ask them if this was what they really wanted, pretending to be normal together. The road would take me right there if I let it. But no, I don't trust myself to see them and act like a decent human being. Maybe with more distance. Right now it's still so much to bear. Last town I stopped in, I didn't have cash for the bookstore. If you have any stories like those, paperback adventures. A thrilling story. Okay, it says, I love The Wolf Among Us. It's probably the best of the Telltale catalog. I played the first chapter and was super invested. Exciting. It's not that kind of thing I can write, but I like hearing it told. A free mind ponders all subjects without fear. A free soul expresses its spirit without restraint. Silas had the kind of freedom once, or I thought he did. Something changed in him, though, and he began to shrink away from that, became introspective and morose. What happened? In darker moments, I wonder if Pauline turned him against me. No, that's just my imagination. I need an optimistic story right now. Something to put a smile on my face. Another story of the newspaper reporter with strictly positive views. I don't think I'm in the audience for that joke. Alright. Choices used to bother Silas. He used to worry a lot about doing the right thing. He had a strong sense of morality. I was different from him in that way. The right thing isn't the thing I naturally want to do. Frequently I don't do it, and I have to deal with the consequences. But I don't see why I shouldn't keep pursuing that. I'm built around a bundle of desires, just like anyone else. There were times when I thought Silas would see things this way too. Last time I stopped in, I didn't have cash for the bookstore. Thrilling story. Okay, well, I'm fucking up. Maybe what I think happened didn't happen at all, and I'm the one who's been a monster. Thing is, things did get heated once or twice, maybe, but I was upset at being shoved away just like that after so many years. Silas and Pauline just decided to be normal one day, and that it was necessary for me to disappear from their lives. But surely it's understandable that I'd be upset. Alone out here, I spend too much time inside my own head. Tell me a helpful story. Hopeful story. Underground network of communist metalworking. That's a good one. We do reach up like that towards hope. Oh, one more story! One more good story and I got him! Trust me, well, people confuse states of mind with times gone by. You can talk over building trust, but it's never quite the same once broken. Certainly, I'll never go back to the old idyllic days. I used to have this belief in our immortality through our art, our words, our deeds. I thought there was a power in that. Silly of me, certainly. Go ahead and tell me I'm ridiculous. Here's the sun in my time. Fuck! I missed it! My next leg takes me down this road a ways. I'll be looking for some new sights.
Ooh, sorry.
I missed it by a 1. I suppose I'll be carrying Pauline and Silas around with me there too. There's no kind of clarity. And that spiritual failure was a natural thing. Perhaps I'll have an answer for you when we next meet. More likely though I won't. Alright. Have to head south. Up, I see him in the distance. I'm coming for you. We started late, so I think we'll push late. We'll probably run until about 7:30, so we have another hour left at the end of the game. Wow, my game is chugging. There we go. Oi, St. Louis. Alright. I don't think I've been to St. Louis either, actually. Yeah, I don't think I've been to St. Louis. Let's go ahead and talk to Cassidy real quick. Get him to the next chapter. Oh, he's only on chapter 2 as well. A hopeful story. Oh, hell. The man who seemed alright with death? Maybe that's hopeful? It is hopeful. And we got him. There we go. Right, so... I'm just gonna tell them a bunch of stories to try and level them up. I feel so ignored, so discardable, like what I did and what I did and who I was didn't count. Like I saw signed, wiped out from the face of the world as if I never existed in the first place. Sometimes I want to hear sadness that was an age of mine. Oh shit. I actually need to stop telling him stories.
How come?
Because he's on chapter 2. He's going to be in chapter 3 the next time I see him, so I still have to tell him, like, normal stories. And then he'll make it to his true form.
Makes sense.
And I can't tell him stories he's already heard. So, I need to... Yeah. Need to kind of chill out. You know what? Hold on real quick. I'm gonna check out, St. Louis. Real quick, like... Just, I don't know if... Oh, I have been here before. Alright. Never mind then. I can see Cassidy in the distance. Coming for you, boy. Oh, he stopped off in Kansas City. Tell story. You're on the soup line for over an hour. It's barely crawling along. You round the corner of the building and see far away a lone pair of nurses struggling to ladle out soup to kids. We've been waiting here for a while, says the mother in the line beside you. You and her get talking after a while. The topic drifts to a strange place, and she starts telling you about the ancient battles still raging in Boston streets. You recognize it as a story of the strange climber on the streets of Boston, but way more outrageous than your version. Tell her your version, and she says, that's not as exciting. Diplomatically. I mean, it sure sounds realer than what I heard, but I think Toby likes mine best. She bounces her child encouragingly on her hip, but Toby's too hungry to smile. Toby looks fucking like he's a 50-year-old man.
A little bit.
Yeah. Alright. Right. Still me and you're still you. Pity, isn't it, to be stuck with ourselves like this? All this wandering, I couldn't escape the one thing I wanted to be away from more than anything else. I suppose that in the end we'll have to settle down inside ourselves, but I don't want to be the way I am now. If I could, I'd live inside the past, inside the time Silas and I had together. I definitely read Cassidy as being gay. I don't know if that's just me.
Yeah, I do too.
Back on the road together forever. I'd been aching for... Like, I can't tell if he's gay or if he's just, like, super bromancing Silas.
I say gay.
Yeah, maybe we'll find out in his true version. In his true form. I've been aching for something like a good ghost story. Do you think anything... Do you know anything scary like that? Ghost story, you say? What's a scary story? Haunted by the ghosts of toddlers. Yeah, I got a scary ghost story of a hotel for you. I didn't always like the spooky ones, but you told that one well. Silas could see I was trapped. I was a shy kid. Silas helped me realize there was something more than just being frightened of things. Traveling with him unlocked a new world. I never felt so free before. The way I slipped in and out of different situations, others' lives. In the normal day-to-day, you think you're doing fine. But you're really in prison. Break free from that is a holy thing, a beautiful thing. Sometimes I want to hear sadness that resonates with my own. Story of his boy and his dog, somewhere in Alabama. Tragedy in the story, it's real. Have you ever tried writing poetry? Freedom. Am I really free now? I don't know what I'll do next, but I'm starting to understand that it has to be something different. I've been on the road for a while now, but this whole time I've been trapped as I've always been. My mind's just going in circles, repeating the same old conversations, revisiting the same old places. Mood, my dude. Mood. I'll catch a glimpse of real freedom now and then. I just need to find the best way to pursue it. Sometimes I want to hear sadness that resonates with my own. Sadness. Sadness. I think that story may have become sad. The spirit's still searching today. Look, you can't just have a happy ending. A story needs to be truthful too. That one didn't. That's not happy that they're still looking. I tried to get on with a few other people, writers and poets and artists, types that are supposed to have certain things in common. But I was never accepted in the artistic communities. I was too unwilling to put up with all the bullshit. I went both ways. I tend to annoy the other writers for some reason, so I only ever had one little group. Them and, of course, all the hobos and bums of the world. Sometimes I want to hear sadness. Oh my god!
You could use your cheats if you haven't all.
Yeah, I have guaranteed one more sad story. Yep, there it is. Oh. An odd thing to have such a memorable and story time when in retrospect you wonder if it really happened. All that just gone. You could have jumped it all. You don't have to let that bring you down though. It's enough with something to exist in the past. And for that ought to have been good. Melancholy as hell, but sure it isn't what isn't in life. Sometimes I want to hear sadness. Right. So, if I can't find a guaranteed sad story, I'll cheat. Right, so I'm gonna tell him the story of Little Ben's struggles, and hopefully it'll be great enough for it to fully open. No! What? What? No! Choice. Of course, Silas and I chose to live the way we did. We both knew it wasn't without its dangers, what we were doing. Got some scraps and talked our way out of others. Something about the righteousness of our mission must have shone through. Silas in particular, his eyes had a certain shine that spoke to his purpose, an effect that was only enhanced by the hobo rags who were during the trip. More than once, folks intended on giving us trouble. Trouble saw him apostle-like and let us be. The sun will be rising soon. I gotta pack and camp. Up and down every day. Fuck! God damn it. That annoys me. I cheated and used my story and it didn't open at all. He waits in the ruined mill, an overcoat 2 sizes too big. Look over here, look over here. Look at this, she yells, and this only happens once every 10 years. For Christ's sake, she grabs your hand and you both look at the black gear rolling west to cover the sun. Look away or look at it. Look at it. Suddenly, the darkness draws across the sun until it's almost total. Clutches your hand tightly. I've never seen this before. I've never seen this. The sun obscured throbs and expands, raging against the night. Look away or look at it.
I don't care if your ass goes blind. Keep looking.
The eclipse breaks. The sun surges forward, screaming, burning, writhing in torment. Your eyes burn too, as if in retaliation, as if your witness of the sun's humiliation constituted some great insult. You look at her. Her eyes are bleeding. Move on. Alright. Alright, so I need to head north. Well. Alright. Whew. Damn it, Cassidy. I will get you to the last chapter, damn it. Matthew S. Burns. Oh my god, his eyes fully closed now.
Ah, you cheap son of a bitch.
A tragic story. I just told a random story because I don't seem to have one that's tragic. Hopping on coal train cars that froze overnight, scooping out beans from a tin with your hands, all of that was pure joy. Most people go through life doing a lot of work to avoid the truth. Silas and I wanted to find the truth, to witness it with our own eyes. Alone out here, I spend too much time inside my own head. Tell me a hopeful story. Hopeful story! Jesus, finally.
Remember, you can mix up what stories you've got.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that his eye would be fully closed at this point.
Yeah, that's annoying. That's weird.
Oh, wow! He loved that story so much it fully opened his eye in one go. My love, did I overwhelm him? Was it too much for his delicate soul to be caught up in the storm of my love, my desire for him? To have him, own him, make him part of myself. I dearly wish he felt the same about me. I'm not sure that he ever did. It may have been that he just enjoyed the flattery of my worship. You know, I was far from the only one who thought of him that way. I need an optimistic story right now, something to put a smile on my face. Can you think of anything like that? I'm just gonna tell you some fucking stories to make them grow, my dude. I have you where I want you. Something about the righteousness of our mission must have sown through. Yada yada yada.
Yeah, there was no B in this bromance.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just skipping through dialogue that we've already heard. Is Professor Garrett says broke back mountain vibes alert. Oh, faith often comes as a variety of hope. Hope for yourself. Some kind of magic that happens when you're with someone who makes you feel like the person you want to be. My old life, I never had a chance to talk about life. The point of things. What am I supposed to be doing here? If I ever ventured it, people called me a freak, or worse. Now in comes the man Silas who is built of these thoughts. You can see how I believed he was sent from the heavens just for me. It was a hell of a time, that trip I took with Silas. Train hopping, hitchhiking, walking, whatever we could do to get across the country. Talked to everyone, bums and hobos, machinists and librarians, waitresses and cops. We wanted to show them who we were. Now it's gone, done in the past. But it's not something I should be mourning, is it? It's something I should be celebrating. The next walk takes me to the road this way. Where does your road take you? Right, so we need to head west across the river. East across the river. And we will see his final form, motherfuckers! I'm gonna hear a twist of our current story, start a conversation, launches into a wild story about the cursed fortune teller fleeing the bargain she made long ago. Halfway through, she stops to recognize I've seen this one. And time to pick up a whole new story. Here, can you find her? His voice is soft, cooing. He lowered himself down in his head. That his head is level with the two blonde, topped boys next to him. Find Grandma. They're pulling ears of corn off stalks with uncommon gentleness. Just watch or say hello. I'm gonna watch. There she is. He points to a specific cob. It's enormous, but otherwise unexceptional. He gave her back to the corn, and now the corn is giving her back to us, one of the boys awed, reaching out to a reverent hand to touch the cob. Greet the man or keep listening. This one's not for eating, the man continued. No, this one we keep. Come on, boys. Better get home before. He fully distracted as he gingerly carries the pristine of corn in one hand, never noticing you. Children tail after him. One of them, his blonde mop of hair mirroring the bright yellow maze, seems to glance at you, not really understanding what he's at him. And there it is, subtle but perceptible. A patch of red spots on his face. Fuzzy and fungal. Omnipresent rust that you've seen on cornfield. Except this one. Alright, that was weird. We're traveling back across Desmond's.
Sorry to be silent for a bit. I had a desperate need of sandwiches.
Oh,
I was listening, however, and I'm wondering if these are the children of the corn.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And we get to see Cassidy's true form. Oh, wow. Was not what I was expecting. You want to know something funny? I've been misguided this whole time I've been speaking with. I was in the library in Seattle and I found Ovid's Media Amoris, Cures for Love. The part where he specifically advises against traveling alone to overcome a heartbreak. Exactly what I've been doing for so long. I laughed, a wild bestial laugh that came over and kicked me out. They came over and kicked me out. You never know what you'll come across when you read whatever you can. Alone out here, I spend too much time inside my own head. Can you tell me something? A hopeful story.
To be fair, that is exactly how I feel, right?
I like that one. Makes me feel like Silas used to in the old days. Travel? For a long time I thought I'd continue to wander the roads forever, that there was no other home for me other than the constant motion. I think I want to settle down somewhere, maybe at least for a little while. I'm not sure I know exactly why. Maybe I need to tame myself, make use of the energy I've been throwing around everywhere. Or could be I'm just tired of the way people look at me. You know what? Any stories that'll make me laugh. All order, I know. Faith. I used to have faith in the road would eventually take me where I wanted to be, and I lost confidence in that, and it turned out the road went nowhere. But that's led me to an important realization. Now I say, yes, that's exactly it. The road goes nowhere. Enlightenment I know Silas would be proud of. Sometimes I want to hear sadness. Dupree. That one will be getting locked in the cold and nothing but a sorrows. I liked it. Normal to ponder fortune, it's natural to wonder what things will be like if you've been luckier somehow. Silas would say luck doesn't exist. Everything you experience is now based on your past. Whatever the reason is, though, is pointless to dwell on. You can't go back in time and change what led us to the situation we're in now. You can only try for something better starting from now. Sometimes I want to hear sadness. Yeah. Oh, he loved that one. Looks like I've been sleeping on this whole time, sleeping or dead. But something happened, something's awakening. I have the sense that I need to start pushing words down again. Doesn't even matter what the words are, I need to close. I need to do it as if my life depended on it. It does, obviously. Sometimes I want to hear sadness. For a long time, suffering and wretchedness was all I could see. Hurt my work, it's a blinkered view. I'm struggling to see past the storm clouds of my own mental state. Too many sad words and hop around and die on the page. If I can recapture some of those highs and pair them with the lows, then I might be getting somewhere. When we first met, I asked you why you were on the road, but it was I who really didn't know why I was out here. Now I'm off again, this time to find a place to stay a little while. Not sure where that'll be just yet. I only know that I want someplace I can see the water and watch trains go by. Even at rest, I still need to be... Say that Dharma will end. Dharma will end like all things, and the time of its ending has already begun. What is there for us in this world? Why should we stick it out here? I don't have a great answer to that, but I feel better than I did. I love Silas. I still love him. Love like nobody else. But everyone goes their separate ways in the end. We all have to wander. Do around. Alrighty.
To be that sort of a semi-incoherent babble is exactly what I would sound like if you tried to talk to me while I was writing.
Alright, I did say that we would go till 7:30, but to be honest, I'm kinda cool stopping here. We ended with getting another person.
Well done, Hatter.
Huh?
Well done, honey.
Yes, thank you. And at this point, we've actually completed literally every person we've met so far.
Nicely done. Now we just gotta meet some more. What did the true form of the dog boy look like? Was it a dog?
Oh, it was Quinn. It was that. I'll leave it on screen for you.
Oh, thank you. Damn.
Yeah, he has too many hands.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so you know, as we are all, you know, I'm kind of, I think this would be a good place to stop. So, next time on Friday we'll be playing Darkest Dungeon, and yeah, for those of you that are in chat right now, that are new and haven't watched us play Darkest Dungeon before, if you show up, we'll get you a character and see how long you survive. Again, once more hints, probably not long. But don't worry, your successors will probably die just as quickly. So, for everyone in chat, I would like to thank you so much, and everyone in Discord that joined me, thank you so much as well. Ellen, Eli, and Zero. Zero had the angry pup. And for those of you doing so in the future with your time machines, thank you so much as well. Until next time, don't forget to love each other, and don't forget to spread the weird. Good night.
I love you, Hatter.